Hello students, I welcome you all to Current Affair Lectures by Azad ICS Academy, and today we are going to study the lectures of our Current Affairs of 29th of March. So before we go into the details, we'll see the questions that we discussed in the previous lecture. The first question was, what is the primary alternative to coal in the green steel production? And the primary alternative is hydrogen produced from renewable energy, because hydrogen is a very good fuel. And what is the byproduct of hydrogen? Water, so there will be no pollution and good energy. So hence hydrogen that we are going to get from the renewable energy is going to be an alternative for the coal in the green steel production. Okay, which countries are mentioned as a heavy steel industries, and that is China, Japan, and South Korea. These are mentioned. If you have read the article very clearly, you know what are the heavy weight that are mentioned in the steel productions, right? Now, first important topic that we have for today, that is related to the Union Cabinet approves a 22,919 crore scheme for electronics component manufacturing. So I have put it this picture here so that you can remember, to manufacture electronic components in India, this much amount of money is going to be, given, right, by the government. The Union Cabinet on Friday approves this much crore electronic component manufacturing scheme for the period of 6 years. So this is not just going to be for 1 year, it's going to be for 6 years. The Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Vaishnav, announced. Okay, so what is this scheme all about? Let us see and understand this. So the scheme is trying to, is a step in the government's electronic manufacturing efforts, which was so far focusing on setting of semiconductor fabrication units and IT hardware, along with its finished goods like mobile phones. See, I want you to understand that all the phones that you're using, all the laptops that you're using are based on the semiconductor fabrication itself. So whatever here you can see, these are nothing but the semiconductors itself. Now, so what gives power to the phone? The capacitor, the diode, the resistor. So all these, especially these, small electronic components, they are basically fabricated using semiconductors. So hence we were basically focusing on semiconductor fabrication units and IT hardware. Now you can see a lot of money is going to be given to the electronics component manufacturing. So the scheme aims to strengthen the India's electronic manufacturing sector behind semiconductors. So we are not only focusing on semiconductors and IT hardware, but we are also going to look after finished goods like mobile phones. So it focuses on manufacturing passive components and sub-assemblies of photo and boost our value basically. So here you can see what we are trying to focus upon here is passive components and sub-assembly manufacture will increase domestic value addition. So our domestic value addition will be done because we are also trying to use a lot of or bring in a lot of passive components, not just the main components. Unlike the previous production linked incentive scheme, incentives will also be based on the factory turnover and employment creation. So here you can see the scheme would not only based on the production linked incentive, means the incentives will not be only given based on the production that is done by the company, but it will also be given based on the other things also. Like what are the other things that they're going to talk about? They're going to talk about how much amount of turnover is there, how much amount of employment generation is basically happening. Based on that also, what they will do is they are going to give you some kind of incentives. So if you are giving employment to many people, then the incentives that are given, like the amount of tax that you need to pay, may be less. So such kind of incentives would also be there. So instead, they would receive incentives pegged to factory turnover. So there will be, you can see, based on the factory turnover. If the factory turnover is more, then they're going to get in some kind of incentives, as well as employment creation. So it is not only based on how much production they are doing, but also based on the turnover and also based on the employment. Okay, so here the target to induce 59,350 crores in investment, production worth 4,56,500 crores. This much we want to invest, and this much we want to get the outcome of it, and create around 91,600 direct jobs in a coming year. So we want to create these many jobs that are going to be there in the electronic sector. So these are the things that we want to do. So the scheme is targeting to invest around 59,350 crores as an investment, and the amount that is going to be get after the investment of this much, how much production worth are we going to get? See, we are going to get 4,56,500 crores. Okay, and we are going to create at least, we are aiming to generate 91,600 direct jobs in electronic sector, right? Further, it also focuses on sub-assembling such as display and phone cameras, controllers also. So here you can see active components refer to. So what are the active components? What are the passive components? Look at this. Active components refer to semiconductors and other critical components. This scheme is targeted to sub-assemble such controllers of the display, means whatever displays are there, whatever cameras are there, and for the bare component, including the circuit boards, hardware, all that will be enclosed. So here bare components are also there. What are the bare components that we would have? See, if you are having a phone, then what are the active components? The display, the phone cameras. So all these things are active components. What are the bare components? See, bare components include your sockets. Okay, circuit board, whatever circuit board is there inside, like you will see a board on which everything is working. So they are your bare components. And the hardware that is going to get installed. What are the hardware that is going to get installed? Your lithium ion batteries. So will all be covered under this particular scheme itself. Its initiative is aligned with India's goal to become a global electronic manufacturing hub. So why are we trying to do this? Because India is trying to, become a global manufacturing hub, and to, be in that line, we're trying to do this kind of investment so that we are trying to bring in a lot of production, bring in a lot of direct jobs, etc. Right? So this is a very important topic that Indian Union government is trying to do. That is to put in a lot of efforts to get production, especially for in the electronic sector. Now, the second important topic that we have is related to Google and related to NCLAT cuts CCI fine on Google to uh, 217 crores. So what is this? Let us see. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. This is your tribunal that is there. So National has upheld penalty imposed on Google by the Competition Commission of India for abusing its dominant position in the digital payments and app store market while ruling the payment system in an anti-competitive manner. So let us see what is this. So this is a tribunal, first thing. Now this tribunal has upheld, means it has, okay, given go, or it is upheld a penalty on Google for abusing its dominance. So Google is kind of having a lot of dominance when it comes to payment systems, right? So in its digital payment system and app store market, okay, but reducing the fine. So the fine has got reduced, okay, reducing the fine to 216. It's like almost 217 crores. Okay, it rules that the government must allow alternative payment, or Google must allow alternative payment system also. So Google is not allowing the alternative payment system, and it is only trying to have one kind of payment system, and that's kind of making it very less competitive. And who has filed a complaint? It is Competition Commission of India. See, India is also having its own payment system, like we have Bharat UPI and all of that, right? So we have our own UPI system, but Google is not allowing all the other kind of UPIs. It is only allowing the Google Pay or other, only one kind of digital payment. So hence, we have Competition Commission of India who is trying to, put a case on, or kind of put a fine on Google, and our tribunal that we have in India is trying to impose this kind of fine, or it is trying to uphold it. Okay, so let us see what is this. So before we go into details, now let us understand this particular tribunal here, that is National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. See, it was established under Companies Act of 2013, right? And it is it serves as appellate authority of passing, or for orders passed by this particular National Company Law Tribunal. It also hears and appeals against decision for insolvency. So if there are any kind of companies that are not able to, insolvency and bank or bankruptcy board of India, right? So, and also from the Competitive or Competition Commission of India. So who all can go and complain here? This is one company. So if the company is not able to, pay money, so what will happen here is that particular insolvency and bankruptcy. So if I am having a kind of a company, and if I'm not able to repay the loan back to the bank, in that case, my company will be insolvent or bankruptcy. I become bankrupt. So whatever assets I have, that will be insolved. That means that will be sold, and we will try to recover the money. And that is called insolvency. Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India is also can go to this particular appellate tribunal, and also Competitive Commission of India can also go to this tribunal. It was constituted on 1st June 2016 to, streamline the corporate disputes. So whatever corporate disputes are there, all of that will be taken care by this particular tribunal itself. And the headquarters is in New Delhi. Okay, and the chairperson, it consists of a chairperson, judicial member, and a technical member as well. Okay, the rulings can be challenged only in Supreme Court. So where can the rulings be challenged? So whatever they say, where can it be challenged? Only in Supreme Court. Okay, it plays a very crucial role in corporate insolvency resolution and competition law enforcement. So here also you can see the competition is not properly done. So hence to resolve the disputes that are there with the competition, we have this particular tribunal. Okay, it aims to ensure faster resolution to corporate dispute and protect stakeholders' interests. So whatever stakeholders' interests are there, all of that will be protected. So now let us see what is it talking about. However, the quantum of penalty was reduced. So the penalty that was imposed, look at this, the penalty that was imposed was 936.44 crores, but that got reduced to 217 almost, or 216.69 crores. Okay, it was done in 2022. Now you can see it has come down to this much. Google will have to allow alternative payment system from the app and in-app purchase. It will also confirm Google cannot discriminate against other UPI-based payment system for the transactions. See, as I am already telling you that you need to understand that Google, if you try to, make any payment, it will directly take you to Google Pay. It is not allowing you to pay through other pays. So other payment apps. So hence Google will have to allow. So after this, they'll have to allow that they will use or they will allow alternative payment system also. The tribunal ruled that the Google imposition on its proprietary Google pay bill system on the app developer violates India's competition laws, affecting limited market access to other payment service providers. So as I already told you, there are other payment service providers, and this particular Google is not allowing the other payments to come up. And what is Google trying to do? It is only taking you to Google Pay billing system. Okay, that is GPBS. It's only taking you to that and not allowing the others to, even come there. So that is the problem here. The ruling signals a notable shift, notable shift towards proactive regulations from big tech firms in India, as experts argue that the current ex post enforcement mechanisms are inadequate to prevent digital markets and irreversible tipping and favor for dominating players. So here you can see that there is a lot of favors for dominating players itself, and they're not allowing other digital markets to come up. The existing powers of CCI are based on ex post model and need to be a law regulating a digital market in the mode of X in hand. So don't worry about all these things. So these are nothing, but they're just talking about what can be done better. But what we have to understand here is about this particular thing, that is NCLAT. So that is something that we have to remember. That is the tribunal and how they are going to help us. Okay, the case against the Google originated and the complaints by March Group. So this was done by the March Group, that is Tinder parent company and Alliance of Digital India Foundation, which accused Google for abusing a dominating position. Via, how are they being a dominating position? They are being a dominating position via Google Pay billing system. So they have a Google Pay billing system because we are downloading all the apps from the Google Play itself. So they have a Google Play billing system. And via this, they are trying to, have the dominance only by the Google and not allowing the others to pay. Google was allied that mandated developers to use the billing system for in-app purchase. So if you want to do any purchase from that particular app, you will have to only use Google. So thereby restricting alternatives like UPI and the third-party gateway. So they do not allow other people, and they are only allowing the people to do it through the Google Play billing system itself. So hence not allowing anybody else to, do any kind of payments here. It also levied that 30 to 50% fee on transactions, significantly higher than the domestic pay providers, hurting smaller developers. Developers also barred from informing users about alternative payment system options outside the Google ecosystem. See, I'll tell you something. I'll give you an example to make you understand this a little more better. What Google is trying to do. See, if I have an app, let us assume that if you are a UPSC student and I have an app called maybe my own app, okay, Azad ICS app. Now, if I want to do payments, means, I have launched some courses. And these courses, I want to make them available for students. Maybe for 2,000, 3,000 rupees, I have made this course available. Now, what happens is when I'm using this kind of app, I have to pay. right? If I have to purchase that particular course, I have to pay. Now I am the app creator. So they have to see here. Now look, I am the developer of that particular app, right? So they tell us, or the Google is going to tell. Now, if I'm a developer of this app, where will I put this app? I will put this app in the Google Play Store. Correct or no? Or Google Play Store. And when I'm putting this app, so what will Google tell me is whatever in-app purchases are going to happen. So if any student want to purchase my course using this particular Google Play Store. So if you want to purchase my course, you have to go first, download this particular app from the Google Play Store. And if you want to purchase, if in from that particular app, if you want to purchase anything, you will be only allowed to use Google Pay, not allowed to use any other alternative. So like this, what happens here is, and the amount of money, see, if you're using Google Pay, what will happen here is some amount of money will be used as a transaction fee. Okay, obviously Google have to get some payment, right? So it is going to use 30 to 15% of the fee for the transaction itself. But this is very, very high. If you are using some other domestic payment apps or payment processes or third party gateways, they will charge less. So like this, what happens is the small developer. Now, if I am a developer, now how much money is going to Google Play? 13 to 15% of whatever money you pay to my course, that much money out of that 15 to 30% is going to go to Google Play Store itself. Now, if I'm a bigger developer, it is not a problem for me. But if I'm a smaller developer, I will not be able to, use other alternative options. I will have to use only Google ecosystem or Google Play Store or I mean Google P. So hence this is kind of a not correct thing. And that is why this Competition Commission of India has filed a case and now they have to pay this much amount of money to the government of India, right? So this is the important topic that we have discussed for today. Now the practice by Google was deemed anti-competitive by NTCL. Why was it done? Try to find out the answer for this. Okay. And what payment system did Google Allied restrict to mandate uh, G, GPPS for in-app purchases? Both the topics are covered. Try to put in your answers in the comment section and also try to put explanation to why this is right. And if you have any other suggestions also, you can put it in the comment section. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you so much.